welcome to your Energy Wellness Impact. I am Tamara Jean, your Awakening Mentor and Wellness Astrologer here on High Vibe TV. And of course, thank you so much for being here. Greatly appreciate it. And so this forecast is for January 7th through the 9th of 2025. Still getting used to saying 2025. I've got the Self-Healing Collective channel on for you that is encoded with 963 hertz. And I feel it's quite appropriate as that is the solfeggio frequency that really assists in connecting with your higher self, connecting to higher planes of consciousness. You know, it's known as a God frequency, really helping to attune yourself to source and the source within you. Because this energy, the theme of this energy, as we know, is very deep transformation, right? At many different levels. And this includes, with the current human design transit, a transformation of our circumstances. With the sun being in gate 54 in the root, we still have the sun and earth in the root center, right? With that internal pressure and that whole expansion and evolution that is continuing, right? Pluto is still there. So we still have all this energy there in the root center that is assisting us going through this like expansion and contraction and this whole transformation evolutionary process of our, physical structures, realities, and systems, and with our own soul's evolution, making huge, many are experiencing what I would call like an initiatory process, like entering into initiation, or you feel like you've been in initiation for a while now, and this is all in purpose, right, of your soul's evolution. And because this year's energy is really going to, we're still entering into a more, even though we have substantial energy, right, with big planetary shifts into new signs and being Aries. And at the same time, we're going into the year of the snake, and it's the yin wood snake in Chinese astrology. And that will be, I believe, January 29th is the new lunar year. And that is, right, much more of a feminine, softer energy. There's going to be a lot of shedding, right? This is very significant for a lot of transformation, a lot of healing, and really tapping into that wisdom within. And over these next couple of days, I'm seeing this like common thread of, especially with Mercury moving into Capricorn on Wednesday the 8th, that there is this more like responsible and mature aspect to the energy as Mercury does move into Capricorn, right? But we're learning there's different ways we are doing things, expressing ourselves, therefore teaching things, and also learning things. And this energy feels much more like connected to Earth, to Gaia. So almost like a initiation activation with Gaia rather than, for right now, more like galactic, or higher dimensional download activation upgrades. This feels right now very much connected with the Earth and with Gaia. And so, as I mentioned, the sun and the earth are still in the root center in the current human design transit. The sun being in the gate of ambition, and the earth, it's the grounding energy, is in the gate of the new beginnings. And so we're wanting to strive to change like our circumstances, get to that, find the next step on the ladder, or connect with someone, right, that assists us in our process of transformation. And, that can include where you're learning how to reconnect with that inner knowledge within you and how to transform your situation, circumstances, or your life, your reality. The thing we want to watch out for is that to follow our strategy and authority when it comes to this, because things can sound really great, right? Here's the Neptunian influence, and where it could sound really great, but they are, let's say they're over promising, right? They're not really being able to deliver, right? Over promise and under deliver, right? Things like that. So we want to stay very aligned, following our strategy and authority at this time as we are making changes. This is the time to take those steps. But as you have to pay attention to that, right? That soul calling into doing something and take those steps. We have the Sun square Chiron, right? And it'll be exact on Wednesday the 8th. So this is helping us to like, where are we? I feel, where are we still wounded in not, because this is where the sun is in the human design, that gate of ambition. It's to increase our standing in the material world, right? Both like where we are at, this also relates to financials, and that Sun square Chiron is, I feel like, the responsibility of one's self, and right, that sense of achievement and any of the wounding that is around that, of, oh, you are like, your success is defined by your material success, right? Or your value or self-worth is defined by what you have. And, so much of that has been projected onto us for a really long time, right? Part of the distorted programming. And, and you've got to work, 80 hours a week in order to, if you live in California, it's kind of, oh, that's a whole other topic, but you see what I'm saying? Like, okay, right? We're striving to get back to balance, and, and sometimes we need help with that. Well, we do. It's like we need each other, very much so. But my point is that things are shifting into a way of like doing things differently that are aligned, right? And being able to operate from that soul intelligence within you. And not only as a responsibility to yourself, but then in turn, you are then can become being truly in service to others, right? As you honor that within yourself, then you're able to, you have the capacity to be in true service. We have Mars trining Neptune. We still have that opposition to Pluto. And so that we're in process of like the beliefs around being aligned, right, with your truth and your intuition and your heart, and being able to direct the energy in a way, right, that is understanding and healing. And we do have Mercury in gate 10 in the self center, which is the gate of behavior. And this allows, it's one of the 4 love gates in human design. And this is it allows you to be very adaptable to, things, situations, directions that arise, right? But of course, you have to follow your strategy and authority. And with Mercury in gate 10, the individual expression aligned with what you know is right and true brings integrity, which really I feel like is expressive with Mercury moving into Capricorn. And we also have the sun trining Uranus, right? And that will get closer. And so helping us to think outside the box. I feel like it's really going to complement the other transits that we have, being able to express our individuality, right? And that I feel is more responsible to ourselves and therefore to others. Now, how is this going to show up in your body over the next couple of days or so? I am seeing the gallbladder, the muscular system, perhaps your neck, cervical spine area, and also the spleen and triple warmer meridian is what really stood out. Now, that is ruled with like Jupiter and Neptune, and with the Jupiter-Saturn square still happening, and of course Saturn being in Pisces, that's ruled by Neptune, this really stuck out to me. And so the spleen distributes the nutrients, and the triple warmer meridian regulates the fluid within the body. So they're closely related into managing the digestion and fluid balance within the body. Now the spleen, that is ruled by Saturn, is associated with the earth element. And so it's responsible for transporting nutrients and maintaining proper blood flow. It runs along the inside of the leg and through the abdomen and up to the spleen organ, which is like behind your stomach, more on the left side. And then the triple warmer, it's not associated with any one organ. It's more of a functional system that regulates fluid distribution. And so it's divided into 3 burners: the upper, which is the lung, the middle, which is the stomach and spleen, and then the lower, which is the kidneys and bladder. And so this runs along the outside of the arm, connecting to the hand. You can actually, there is to calm, is it the spleen? It's actually to calm the spleen. You can tap here between your pinky, or your left hand, I would do, pinky and ring finger, and tap will actually help in calming that meridian. And so emotionally, so these are all the areas that I was seeing really connected with this energy over the next 2-3 days, especially gallbladder is also ruled by Capricorn, and the muscular system, that neck, the influence with the moon in Taurus, just seeing a lot. And you might have like a stiff neck. These are just some expressions in the body that may kind of reveal themselves to you, that relay these subtle messages of what may be, too rigid. And like Neptune helps to open up Saturn. And so just seeing all of these connections in the body. So the gallbladder you know, is like that tiny little sac behind the liver that helps to filter, right, density and toxicity energetically. And so, and it can be connected to grief. It can be connected to grief about or resentment, which can come about with Mars now retrograde in Cancer, and which Cancer rules the stomach too. So we're starting to see the connection between that, like what the heart wants and being able to digest things, and how are you digesting them. And you may not be digesting things how you normally would be, because all of these deeper issues and wounds, right, that perhaps Mars retrograde in Cancer now is revealing to you, especially when it's still making that opposition to Pluto, right? It's unearthing these very deep emotions and issues that may be coming to the surface of your conscious awareness, and to transform, right, these deeper unconscious patterns that have been ruling from below. And so as these things come up, that how you are processing, because you're also in the midst of transformation in just how you operate as a being here on this planet right now, right, in your own initiatory evolutionary process. So your digestion may be totally off, and you may have to take things out in order to, like, it may benefit you to just have a very simple diet right now. Doesn't mean that it's permanent. It's just as you're going through this particular phase of your process. You know, Capricorn is really good. So since we still are in Capricorn season, it's beneficial, right, to have like those bone building nutrients, warm, grounding foods, you know, and pay attention to like the intuitive eating. Like, is that what feels good to your body right now? You know, especially we're going to have the nodes changing this weekend, and I'll go deeper into that a little bit later with what you can expect to see, especially dealing with health in the body once the nodes change. So so you may not be, right, digesting and processing things as you normally have in the past, because you are literally changing, altering, with doing the energetic and emotional work. You are changing your physiology. You are changing your coding, right? Your DNA, turning on and off markers, right? This is epigenetics. And so there's a lot that is taking place. And with the focus on the spleen, emotionally, this can be like not wanting to face your own issues, which, right, can be happening with that Mars-Pluto opposition, or constantly worrying about others, disconnected from the feminine, feeling angry and frustrated. And remember, like, the spleen is behind the liver, which the liver, as we all know, is like the anger center. And right, the spleen is right behind that. It's also connected to anger and frustration. So one thing you can do with the spleen is close your eyes and form fists with both hands and place your thumbs over your ring fingers, and to start to bring up those emotions and start to breathe deeply and connect to those emotions, whether it's anger, frustration, helplessness, perhaps fear, and really start to tense up. Allow yourself to deeply feel these emotions and continue to breathe deeply, and begin to tighten your whole body and holding that tense for 10 to 20 seconds. And then you're going to release it, open the palms, right? Take a couple of deep breaths, and then you're going to go through that. You're going to repeat that again. And this is going to help release those emotions from the spleen and your body. So just going through that, however intuitively that feels that you should go through that. Let's see what essential oils will be beneficial. We have Douglas fir. This is one that has continued to come out as we are continuing to allow ourselves to heal. A lot that has been coming through, from past generations. I would even say just past lives coming through, whether it's our own, right, or generational, coming through, and that the growth starts with you, right? It's all about resolution. This is a heart center oil. And so, it's about freeing yourself, which of course then you could use, I would say 417 hertz. That helps facilitate change to release trauma that has imprinted on your consciousness. This does not necessarily mean it is your own personal trauma. This can be trauma that has happened in the family line in the past, and it has been passed down through the DNA coding into your DNA that is within you, and you have the power to change that. And then use some lime. This brings back that enthusiasm for life. It really gets you into taking the action step, moving the energy. Doesn't matter how small that step is, that you are doing something, right? Just like that Capricorn. It's not just like go out and do it all. Right now is that slow and steady. And it helps, lime helps to lighten things too. It does help getting things moving. And with Melissa, this is the oil of light, and that you have a unique place in this world with gifts and talents that only you can provide, and using your connection with the divine to share them. And so that's going to support, right, especially as the sun forming its trine or in trine with Uranus, and that gets stronger, allowing your unique self to shine, right? And all of this together, and all of the energetics that are happening right now, thank you to the old. You've learned the lessons, you are integrating, and you are up-leveling. And this is your life now. This is your unique expression. And to be able to do so in a manner that is responsible, understanding, compassionate, right? And that you're operating through your soul's intelligence, allowing that to lead the way, following your higher self directive, right? And that all getting expressed through the heart center. And so let's see too, we have Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light, which we are definitely doing at the moment, right? It feels like can feel a bit of like an intense workout, I feel, with all of these energies. Of course, some more than others, depending on what you got going on. We have the mirror. So what is triggering you? And who or what is triggering you? So as we're going through these more intense transits, it is like they're just shining the light right on it's going to be what the situation or circumstance, what it really is reflecting on what's going on, right, internally. And I was getting, with what energy? Oh, with the Mars Pluto opposition in the releasing of the patterns, like when perhaps you didn't listen to your intuition, right? Or that little voice inside, or you didn't follow your heart, right? And so you either, made mistakes or didn't turn out the way you wanted. And so there are, I would say, recurring situations or circumstances or experiences externally that you may be having. And that is to get to that point of origin within your unconscious, within your psyche, and also then got to follow the connection to where it is anchored within you and within your field. And this is how you then begin to truly alchemize the energy, right? Not just cleansing and healing and then sometime later, then like the saying, it's like, oh my gosh, I thought I dealt with this. I thought I let that go. That's because it wasn't fully alchemized. So, right, pause and reflect as things move through. I'm getting the say no, like learning, boundaries are a thing, and learning to say no, right? And when the trigger happens, to pause, right? And reflect. And you can do this if it's actively happening and you're recognizing it, you can say, no, I'm no longer going to allow this to, whether it's, control me or be this way, or I'm tired of this same type of experience. I want something different. And the energy is here for you for that. Trust your path. And I love that. So if you knew you would be supported, what would you do? I feel like that there's another, Star Mother. Okay, it's like Mother Mary, right? So trusting your path and nurturing yourself. How you can nurture yourself, honor yourself, be responsible, right? You are responsible for you. And when you take responsibility and accountability for yourself, that is, someone that is acting in their sovereignty. And then when that is honored, you can help others to do the same and really shine it is in your power. I mean, this is going to be a journey and, a path to walk on of really anchoring in and establishing your divine power and embodying that and walking that and operating from that. And so, and there's a lot of energy around that, and it can definitely take some time. So I would say still in that space and grace, like I said last time, giving yourself and others space and grace might be a theme for a while. So have a wonderful couple of days, and I will next time.